Stereotypes lose their power when the world is found to be more complex than the stereotype would suggest. When we learn that individuals do not fit the group stereotype, then it begins to fall apart. That is a quote by Ed Cook. So here I have some vintage ads from the 1940s and 1950s, and they appear to be sexist now, but they were once the norm. This just shows how gender roles have changed tremendously from what they were back then. So here I have a hard ease ad from the 1950s, and it is depicting the classic role of a wife back then. The woman is standing in the kitchen, and she is watching who is assumed to be her husband outside and greeting their child as he comes home from work. And the bold letters read, "Woman, don't leave the kitchen." So the image I will be analyzing is from Eli Rizkal's photo series called In a Parallel Universe, where he takes the vintage ad and puts it alongside an image that he recreated. This time he completely reverses the gender roles. And by placing these two images side by side, Rizkala hints at equality and also points out just how much gender roles have progressed. The biography from Eli Rizkala's website, elirizkala.com, states that Rizkala's work typically juxtaposes pure and flawless beauty with off-putting melancholia and lethargy. And that is just what Eli Rizkala does here. He highlights the absurdity of gender inequality by reversing the roles in a recreated photo. And so he does this in many ways, and one of the ways is by the text. And so he switches woman to men and makes the small text now read, "We all know a man's place is in the home." So by reversing these roles, one can see how sexist the ad once was. And there's also wording like "waiting on you." And that hints in the original that there was the impression women were dependent on men, waiting for them to come home from work, and they were the main income of the family. And so by changing the Miss to Mr., Rizkala shows how women have evolved to become more independent, and even hinting that men do in fact need women and depend on women. So in Rizkala's recreated photo, he uses one plain color on the inside, and that color is a pink. And so once again, Rizkala completely flips the roles by using a female associated color, and he places it on and all around the male, perhaps showing the fact that, like stereotypical gender roles have evolved, so have other stereotypes such as gender associated colors. So now it is typical to see colors such as pink that were once female associated be with males, and vice versa. And so while everything inside is bland, we can see that there is one bold color, and that is on the clothing of the female, whereas it's contrasting from the original photo where the woman was in all white and she is sort of blending in to the cabinets as well, and that bold color was seen on the man. And so the focus is now a straight shot to the woman, and we have this wide open window. And so the audience is immediately seeing the woman coming home and greeting the child. So this shows how one-dimensional a woman's role once was, or how a woman was once viewed as the classic housewife, doing the cooking and cleaning, and the man would go to work. And so it gives the focus of the outside less attention to the inside of the house, almost feeling of being trapped, the person inside, as they watch from afar. And so Rizkala really shows the progression of a woman's role in a family by not just being the housewife, but by now going out and working, instead of how it was typically the men back then. He also can show that it is now okay for men to be seen as the homemaker. And so, through Rizkala's photo series, he quotes that he tries to give men a taste of their own sexist poison. And he certainly does this by reversing the roles. He shows some of his sexist audience how much women have progressed. And he quotes again, "In today's world, we still have not achieved equality of the sexes yet." Thank you.